Sports are built on moments. Fast, fleeting, unforgettable. But behind every moment, there's a storyteller. Someone on the sideline.
My dad said when I could barely talk, I would name the players on the screens.
Behind a camera.
They've thrown stuff at me and I've picked it up and it stuck.
In the press box.
I'm told by my parents that as a baby, not even a year old, couldn't even sit up on my own, if I could hear a baseball game being played and I couldn't see it, I would scream and cry.
And for the women who choose this world, the path isn't always set for them. They create it themselves. Today, 5 women working for Central Michigan Athletics show us what it looks like to build that path. One clip, one photo, one interview, one design at a time.
My name is Sophia Johnston. I'm the lead video creative for Central Michigan Athletics. I do in-game highlights, anything video you kind of see on social media is me and my team. I help facilitate jobs, I put together video board shows, organize shooting schedules, hype shoots, practice, and just kind of anything moving is kind of my department.
Hi, my name is Tessa Nico. I do a mix of things. My main job per se is sideline reporting, but this year I've been doing PA announcing and running some features for the athletic department as well.
Hi, my name is Sydney Klein. I work for CMU Athletics as a student photographer, so I photograph all of our D1 sports.
Hi, my name is Josie Ransley. I have been working for CMU since 2022. I started just as a graphic design intern and then gradually kind of enhanced my role, and now I'm doing my graduate assistantship here. I graduated this past May with my undergrad, so it sort of transformed into me doing photography, graphic design. I'm now the gymnastics SID.
Hi, my name is Julia Bice. My official title is the Director of Creative Content and the Assistant Director for Athletic Communications.
Every story has a beginning, and for many of these women, the spark started early, long before they ever held a camera or a microphone. Different beginnings, same destination. A career in the sports industry.
I grew up playing literally anything you can think of, but I think my first real experience of being I love this was my family had season tickets to the Tigers. So I was younger than I could comprehend, and they would take me to the Tigers games, and when I was a little bit older, I would stand at the edge of the outfield with my glove up just like this, waiting for someone to throw me a ball. And I think baseball in general is where I sort of had that spark for loving sport.
I didn't watch, kids shows. I watched old Tigers baseball games. And so my whole life it's just been that. I started playing t-ball when I was 3. I played softball my entire life. I played collegiate golf. My first core memory is the Tigers in 2006 going to the World Series when Mags hit the 3-run home run that sent them to the World Series. So just everything in my life has always been. My dad coaches, I coach, my sister plays Special Olympics. Everything in my life has always been sports.
My first experience with this sport would be my dad just always kind of having it on TV. We're 15 minutes away from MSU, so we would always go to watch the game and tailgates. I kind of just grew up with a big football-oriented family. In 2nd grade, I was put into cheer, and I know for a lot of people that's not considered a sport, but with my competitive cheer side, I would disagree with a lot of those answers. And also just being a sideline cheerleader, I got to watch a lot of sports and just really be involved and see up close and personal athletes kind of story and how a game would go.
I took yearbook, and then my first assignment was a soccer page, and I instantly thought the first picture that I took was so cool of somebody kicking a ball, and I was like, wait, this is really fun. And then I got the baseball page, and that's where I really excelled, I feel like, and I had a lot of encouragement from families and parents and just the team in general.
It's one thing to love sports, but another to want to work in the industry.
So I was actually really shy when I was younger, so I always let my mom kind of talk for me, but I always had the love for sports. But when I started doing pageants, I started figuring out that I like talking and performing in front of people. So I'm like, okay, maybe I can mix my love of sports and then talking, and sideline reporting kind of fell into that.
I came into college thinking that I was going to run track in college, and then eventually my body sort of just shut down. So once I wasn't able to participate anymore, I realized oh, people make a career out of this. And I don't have to be on a certain side of the sport. I can still be surrounded by it and involved in the atmosphere, but I don't have to actually be participating. I can, take photos, graphics, whatever that may be. So I think probably my first semester here at Central, I realized, oh, I can make a career out of this.
My junior year of high school, Monica Bradburn had a TikTok that came on my For You page about working for the MLB based out of Detroit, which I thought was really cool, and it hit close to home, obviously, because I'm from the Flint area. And then I did some more stalking, and I realized that it could be a career and it could be a goal of mine to make it to a league. So I basically followed her path into sports photography and just took all the pictures I could. I took over my yearbook class, basically did every page, especially during COVID. There was a lot of pages undone, but I just did them myself. And then I became sports editor to do the same thing. I did not let a sport have not good pictures either, even though I was in high school and I was young and I was not very good at the time. I thought I was good, and I tried my hardest to showcase each one's story.
So not early on. A lot of people are like, my whole life, I actually came into college and was a music education major. So I was a student athlete, but I wanted to be a music teacher. And the time commitment just didn't really work out, so I was looking for something new to do, and the academic advisor said, "Did you ever thought about sport management?" And I said, "I didn't know that was a thing." So I started there, and then started working in the office my end of my sophomore year, beginning of my junior year of college, and then that kind of solidified, like, I think this is the space that I want to be in.
It actually kind of never occurred to me until college. I kind of fell into it. I started as a cheerleader here at Central Michigan, and we had our media day, and I just was going into the video production career field, and one thing I was always told was to network. So when these video people were, working with us, I just kind of was like, "Hey, I'm Sophia," and then there was a student meeting and just find out that it's all sports based, it's paid, it's great experience, you get to actually do hands-on work, and it kind of just fell into my lap, and I kind of took it and ran with it, and now I'm done cheering after my freshman year, and I've been doing this for 4 years now.
However, choosing a career in the sports industry hasn't always come easy to these women. Gender bias and obstacles are sure to present themselves in a male-dominated field.
How do I want to answer this? Because yes.
I have experienced gender bias and discrimination in my field, whether people are doing it purposely or not.
I think even in just general classes, when I'm in a sports broadcasting class now, and I think people could overlook my knowledge in sports because I do know a lot and I take the time to study, and I think that male-dominated fields like we're in, they kind of overlook that knowledge side of things. At the athletics department that I work in now, I've always felt valued, and I feel like I always have a lot of great people leading me. I've never felt because I'm a female I'm not going to get a position, and so Central itself has been really great, but I know in the real world when I get out there it might be a little bit more difficult, but to always stand my ground and know my worth.
I think underestimated, probably. People will look at you and see a 20-something-year-old female and think what they may about that, and given I have a pretty bubbly personality, they may think things that are just not true. People come to understand the work ethic I have and how hard I work at everything I do. I think that goes away.
I was supposed to be going on this football trip to Florida, which means we take a plane, and I was promised that for months. Get a call 10 minutes later and find out that my spot got booted for a donor, so they can't take the both of us. And then that I couldn't go and take Kali's spot because there wasn't a hotel room for me. They weren't willing to pay to get me my own room because I'm not allowed to room with, obviously, another male.
I've definitely felt underestimated. Like I said, when I got my job freshman year, I then went to class and I told my professor that I had a job for CME athletics, and he looked me straight in the eyes and said, "No, you don't, I used to do that." And I was like, "Well, sorry, but that's not true. You may have used to, but now I do." And so that was my first time being like, oh, I have to stand up for myself and I have to show that I'm worth it, because somebody who is 30 years older than me told me that I didn't have a job that I did.
For me, it's been a combination of age and gender. I'm very young for the title that I hold, and I think that just comes from being here for so long. They needed someone to take it, so I took it, and I've really just run with it. I think when I look at other women that are in this field, the ones that are, I feel like, more highly respected are older, at least in the communication side, because it's a very traditional job rather than something like multimedia that's new and still kind of, growing and developing. Communications has been around forever. I think the only way I've been overlooked in that has been with maybe ideas in traditional communications people, and maybe them not wanting to grow and elaborate in the way that the world is. And I think that, like I said, comes from age and gender as well, with it being sports.
I would get compared to my coworker a lot, just because we were the same age and kind of doing the same things, but a lot of people would just go to him first before me, and I was doing the same stuff, and we had our own kind of style, but still good and still what kind of everyone wanted or needed, but I was just kind of always second choice. I feel like just still to this day, I always need to kind of work twice as hard. And whether that be just me being a woman or just my work ethic, I just feel like in this field, it's very competitive and you have to always be improving and working hard. There's gonna be new people coming in all the time. And you just kind of always have to improve to make sure I'm still getting those big opportunities to go in workplaces, to never really just settle.
A lot of these biases come from stereotypes, but that doesn't mean they can't prove them wrong.
Women in this field face a lot of stereotypes, whether it's literally just being a woman and you're covering a men's sport to I'm not athletic, so I don't know what you're doing, and that's just not right. Like, I never played football, obviously, but I do know what play is coming. And I think that having biases around just knowing that somebody is probably thinking that is something that's always in my head.
With a lot of sports, there is still that like, oh, well, baseball is harder than softball, or, women's basketball is softer than men's basketball. There's still that weird bias there that we can't seem to get over as a society. And I don't know, like I think that people still see Run Like a Girl, or it has gotten a lot better, I will say that. It has definitely gotten way better, but there's still the stereotype of like a girl and what that means.
I think it's the knowledge thing. I think people are like, well, girls just want to be on TV and look good and be on the sideline of a big game. Well, yeah, that's fun and we enjoy that, but we enjoy our job for more so like getting able to connect with players and be able to make those big connections in the world that you wouldn't really get in any other avenue.
When you think of sideline reporters, you think, oh, these cute little blonde girls that, enjoy getting their nails done just for the correct. But they also are here because they have a passion for what they do. So I think that's been the stereotype I've seen more has been in the people on camera, the talent, rather than the people that are behind the scenes, of having an expectation for, yes, they have to look good, that's part of being on camera, but also stereotyping them as that's all that they are, rather than also brains behind the operation.
I had an interview with somebody that works at Getty, and I asked her that if she had kids, would she have made it this far? And she straight up told me no. But then her answer was also, but I have a lot of friends that are younger and that have just broke out into the industry, and they do have kids and they're balancing it all. So I think it's like the times are changing, and if you used to do it, you probably didn't have a family, but now they're realizing that you can do it all, and just because you're a woman and you want to work in sports, you can have the life you want.
That being said, the world of sports is looking up for women, both with the support for each other and their overall acceptance in the field.
I think for the longest time, it's always been a big clash of like, well, we're two women in sports, well, we're definitely enemies, right? But I feel like I've seen, because people are more allowing women to kind of enter the world we're in, and we're getting accepted more, which is just so nice to feel. It's definitely been a thing where women are friends. Like, we're all in the same field, we're all in wanting the same thing.
I have not experienced gender bias in my job, but I think something that's really cool is that it's becoming okay and it's becoming overlooked. Like, as I worked with the Lansing Lugnuts, nobody ever second guessed me by me entering the dugout or Even sometimes I would walk through the training room and they would never like question if I could be there. So I think having people that don't question it helped me a lot, realize that there are people that do get questioned though. And so you have to appreciate the ones that don't.
It seems that it's become easier for women to support each other because there's more of them. Before, when it was 1, 2, 3 females in a workplace, maybe you felt forced to support each other, but I feel over time it's become more organic, and just having the opportunity to get more viewpoints from other people on what they felt. I haven't really felt a ton of discrimination or negative impact because of what I do, but I know that there's people that have, so I can help them through it, and I can see it through their eyes of this is happening and be empathetic for it, where I don't have any sympathy because I haven't dealt with it, but I can be empathetic for you and what you're feeling with having to go through that.
I've noticed people, if they have a question, they're gonna go to someone else before they go to me. But I do feel like it's changing and there's more of us, at least here at CMU. I feel like we're kind of in a shell, and I feel like we're kind of sheltered a bit because it is very women heavy and led. I think it's very important being able to have a woman as a mentor and share her experiences, because we do have where we need to work harder, or our outfits are a little different than what other people have to wear, that it's kind of nice to have that guidance and be able to like kind of know before going into something.
I feel like mentorship goes hand in hand with networking too. So being able to connect with Kristina Fusco, for instance, and being able to get advice from you, but also being able to go to Adam Jaxa and people like Mike Potter. It's been extremely helpful with me perfecting my craft, because I know I'm not perfect, I know I need work, and so having those people who you can go to who know what you're going through is extremely helpful.
You have to be able to, find your people within this industry and make them for you.
Definitely the people around me have helped me get through these tough moments. The people who are in your shoes, the video people that are next to me on the sidelines, I know they understand. And I know I can always talk to them, even if they don't know how to take a photo. They understand what I need to talk about, and they understand my stressors of if I'm doing it right, or if it looks good, or just I missed a play, I hope they got it. And it's always good to have somebody that's in the same realm but doesn't do your job, because then you're not fighting each other and you're both just encouraging each other, and I think that's the best thing for me.
Sports will always need great athletes, but they'll also need great storytellers, the people who frame the game, capture the emotion, and bring fans closer. These 5 women remind us that behind every powerful sports moment is someone who believed in the story. Their journeys aren't finished, they're just the beginning, and because of them, the future of sports media looks more like the world watching it.
I hope this sends just a positive message in general about women in sports, and that it shouldn't even be looked at as different. We all do belong here. If I don't know basketball, I'll learn it. And that's just even though I didn't play it, I can still do it and I can still understand it. So I think anybody can do that. Anybody can understand a sport. Anybody can do research to learn. And if you keep learning and pushing yourself, then you can make it somewhere.
I think having a female athletic director has really helped open some of those doors. I think when Amy came in, she really kind of set a tone of, I touched on it earlier, but you don't have to be checking a certain box to get a job. I think in general as well, Central Michigan does a good job of opening doors for everybody.
Just go for it. You know your passions, and if sports is your passion, you should just get after it. Get as many reps as you can, make as many connections as you can, and practice, 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 because it is competitive, but if you have the right drive, you can do it.
It is long hours and it's hard, and there's a lot of people who will probably tell you you can't, but there's so many opportunities, and you just have to power through any of the tough times and realize this is what I love, and it's so cool that I get to do it every single day.
We've kind of come a long way, but there's also still a bit more we can do. You might have bad moments, but there's also some really, really good ones in there.
I think a good message is that you don't need to be a woman in sports. You can be someone that works in sports. As we move forward and things continue to grow, I think that's more of a platform that could be pushed to find is I'm not a woman that works here. I'm just someone that works here. When you work in an office, if you work in a financial firm, right, you're not, oh, a woman in finance. No, I work in finance, right? Just because men played sports before women did, which means that men have worked in sports before women worked in sports. I hope that at the end of this, as this goes on and more people do it, you just work in sports, right? We don't have to be women in sports. We can just be people that do this and people that make athletics happen.
We are here and we are a part of a male-dominated industry. We are good at what we do and we love what we do, and we want other people to get involved in it, especially other women.
I'm excited where women in sports is heading, and I'm glad I can be part of this.